Dun, dun. Hello, welcome to Two Dogs Digs Hall Pass and the Rollercoaster Life of Reselling, also known as the Merry Month of Mayhem. What a wild and weird month this has been. Thanks for joining us here on Two Dogs Digs on Tuesday. I got to figure out where my head sits here. Today we are going to chat about how many ups and downs you can possibly go through in 1 month in the reselling world. There's a lot. Like, it's like a roller coaster. We've had some amazingly fun days. We've found some great things. We've had some bad sales. We've had some no sales. It's just been like up, down, up, down, up, down. So I thought, what better thing to talk about than that? And also potentially talk a little bit about the motivation I think that some people need to go through. I know I need to go through, and I'm always challenged with doing that with Rick. Actually, he's the one who's got to challenge me on all of this stuff. And speaking of the challenger, there is the challenger.
What an intro. Thank you. I love you too.
Oh yes, thank you. So a big hello to everybody who's joined us here on this fabulous Tuesday. We got Carl first in, yay!
Actually, I was.
Oh, Rick was the first in, and then
Carl was first. Our first subscriber.
Nelly, who says it's her favorite night of the week. Thank you so much. And Nelly, all members of the Kennel Club. I'll talk a little bit about that a little later as well. Just as a reminder to people, we got a Kennel Club thing that I moved. Tina, Lisa, hello. Donna, Diana, hey Kendra, thanks for popping in. Elisa, Susan, friends from the north who actually have a day that's actually warm today. It's like, yay, it's actually a hot day out of the blue. So strange. Mr. Roadrunner, Heather, Bob sent me a kiss today. So roller coasters make you. This month kind of made the same thing. Made me kind of go,
It's not
nah. And Joel, hey Joel. So I think that the thing that I wanted to chat about, and the reason I sort of brought this up again, so it's like the roller coaster life of a reseller is, and we seem to have like things stay on an even keel. But in the case of this past month, we've been literally sort of all over the board. So if we talk about it in a number of different ways, so as a reseller, you have things that you're listing and you're trying to sell them. So that's one thing that can go up and down and up and down. You have sourcing, which can go up and down and up and down. You have like dealing with sales and shipping and things like that can go up and down. But there's so many different things that actually, and part of it is like it can affect you mentally. It can really actually make you sort of edge down or edge up in what you're doing. And I think that's one of the challenges that we've had and it's actually been happening over the past few months because our sales on our eBay platform have been really weak. Normally May has picked up a lot, but May has not picked up a lot. We actually had our first week a couple of weeks ago where we had an under $200 payout week. And that was like, kind of shook me to the core. So it was like, how this, no, why? So again, that's sort of like it's the thing to think about. And I thought we'd just chat with you guys about it. So again, we started out May with, and it's also Rick and my birthdays in this month. So Rick's birthday was last Tuesday. So that's why we took last Tuesday off. My birthday was the beginning of the month. Rick is still not necessarily a senior, but he is eligible for Denny's senior dinner. So we'll just put it that way. So he's Carl said last week he had it under many years since that. Hey, Lisa. Hello, Greg. Hey, Joan. Thanks for popping in. And Don. Don just jumped up there. Last week, Elisa had a sales where your sales were up 91% over the last 30 days.
But that could be a $20 sale when you had a $10 sale of 30 days.
Well, not be depressive about it, but again, that's just
I'm sorry.
the challenge that we have when we're looking at stuff. So we've been looking around over the past month and trying to figure out what we have to do. And I think one of the things, Andrew's sales are up this month. Good for you. Is see what it is, because you always see this. I think one of the things that challenges us a lot as resellers, and I don't really know, I'll have to ask him because I kind of haven't blatantly asked him, but Rick,
yes,
does this affect you in the same way that it affects me?
No. You worry about it far more than I do, so I don't have to put any of my time, energy, or effort into that. If that makes sense. I worry about it, but I let you worry about it.
So Don, your sales are up year over year, but it doesn't feel like it. I like that logo, Don, as well. I knew you were changing, but that's really cool. I haven't seen that, or I can't remember seeing that before. Lisa says she's down 35% year over year past 30 days, which is better than it was. Diana, you would complain, but your stores were on vacation for 2.5 weeks. Heather is the worrier of her pair. Antiquarian Bookman, 1 week good sales, next week none. Rinse, repeat. Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like. Rinse, repeat. And I don't even have anything to rinse.
We're having some strange. Oh, I touched that last week and it sold today.
That's been the weird one, is the stuff we have sold this month. And I'll go into some of it next week when we're going to do our monthly sales recap for May. And hopefully Carl will be joining us again. The stuff we sold has been just weird. There are things that literally Rick moved. It's like we've sold things that we've had listed for 2 years. And not even thought about them. And then we sold them.
To ship
and runs and touches all inventory. No, we sold them, and like we go to packing, and Rick will go, I just moved that out of the way for this other thing. We sold something that we have not sold any of in like 8 months. And I swear, I literally the night before was looking at it in my eBay listing of live listings going, I wonder if I should still just keep that up or not. And the next morning I sold 2. And I'm like, this is so freaking weird. And it's unfortunately, I wish it was $100, $200 items.
No, there are standard $10 and $20.
But it's our $10 stuff that's selling. So it's not. Oh, I have commented on the logo before. It's just all of a sudden it seems so big in front of me there. Lisa sold a board game today on Kijiji that's been listed for 3.5 years. I actually had somebody today just responded to a Kijiji ad I forgot to take down from 7 months ago. So it's like, but again, nobody talking to me on Kijiji at all until that.
Well, we had some fun this week too, didn't we, Craig?
What?
Oh, I'll let you tell. Never mind.
What?
Never mind.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear what you said because I was talking.
Yeah, well, keep talking.
No, what did you just say?
I was just going to talk about going up to the unit and what we discovered there, but you were going to.
Oh, you can go. You can talk about so some of the stuff we actually ended up doing is, and I think this is my challenge, and I'm kind of, this is the way I'm sort of trying to work on things right now. I've literally had to readjust myself. So this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is a huge garage sale day near us. We used to go to this area near us every year. Rick hated me getting him up, but I would get him up and out of this house at 7:30 in the morning. There were so many houses prior to the pandemic. So many houses. So much shopping. 2 churches would had their sales out, like in the churches and out on the thing. Apartment buildings, people would come down and put tables out in front of apartment. Gigantic sales. And Saturday, I woke up at 7:30 and Rick goes, okay, time to go. I went, go back to sleep. And he's like,
huh?
Go back to sleep? But it's your sales. place. And I went, yeah, we got nothing last year. And that was kind of the attitude that I had. And I don't know if any of you guys have that kind of attitude hit you sometimes, where it's like, especially if you've maybe had a week where I thrifted at thrift stores last week and bought absolutely nothing. That's why I couldn't do a thrifted or throw it today. That's why I couldn't, because it would all be throw, because I didn't buy a damn thing. I couldn't do a baggy wall haul. Why? Because I haven't found anything on the baggy walls. Not even my baggy walls. My gigantic baggy. I can't find anything on them.
Pickens is.
So I had a week of finding nothing. And so when it got to the weekend of it's time to go, I don't really care to go. Now it's good to hear. Like that I'm not the only one there. Diana's saying she's hardly buying anything and have no motivation to shop. Donna has that attitude quite often. And I know, Donna, I think you posted in the craft group that you went to like 12 garage sales or something, like area garage sales, and got nothing on the weekend. And I think that's that's where it sort of, as a thrifter reseller, it becomes a little bit of a challenge. So what we tried to do was we did nothing on Saturday, literally nothing on Sunday. We were supposed to have 2 whatnot shows. We were supposed to be building our catalog for our next Max.
We had a movie marathon.
And we ended up watching a whole bunch of movies. That's
the
all
Mummy, The Mummy Returns.
Yeah, and not even movies we hadn't seen. Like, we watched The Mummy. The Mummy Returns. The Tomb of the... Which has the worst CGI version of The Rock ever if you watch The Mummy Returns as the Scorpion King. We watched... what else? We watched another thing. I watched Ocean's 11. He ran out of the room because he hates Ocean's 11. I didn't get to watch Ocean's 12 or 13.
Any of the Ocean's movies.
He was like, I'm coming back. You can't watch those. We watched a whole bunch of episodes of our favorite new show called The Traders. The Traders Australia and The Traders UK, which is an amazing show. It's like Clue and Survivor, like murder mysteries combined. So again, but... sitting there and going, do you want to get up and do something? Okay, well, let's watch this. So what I did was Sunday night, I said, we got to try and figure out what we need to do, how we can change this. And so my attitude this week has been adjusted. And my attitude this week is a little different. I'm going to try and take this attitude actually now for the next few weeks. And that is... like, so I had this image. I forgot to put this image up. So this is me lately. So that was going to be the slate. That's what I was going to call today's show.
True story.
But I've decided what I need to do is start looking at it's one thing. So to try and get yourself going again, one thing. It's try to do one thing in that day. Not 20, not try and list 50 things, not literally just one thing. And hopefully just one thing will help to lead to, well, I got one, maybe I'll do 2. And I just want to see a couple of people Tina made a comment. Shopping's never a problem, but not buying as much stuff is a problem. Elise has been bombing at garage sales. It's like people got rid of everything good right after that's kind of a feel. Yeah, that kind of is that feeling like when the pandemic was on, they dumped it all in front of a closed thrift store.
Well, I think also that a lot of people are turning to thrifting and reselling as a side hustle to make money to help afford living because the prices of everything is going up. And
yeah, we're seeing a lot more competition, like when we are going to these places. Tamara's saying she needs to stop shopping and use the time to post. She hasn't posted at all lately. And Tamara, you had started posting again. Tamara sells a lot of linens and sheets, and she started posting. Well, speaking of linens and sheets, we went to our storage unit.
Our shame.
Oh,
our shame.
Our shame.
Our profit pile is plentiful. Let me just put it that way. How many bins of sheets did we see?
4.
Okay.
Oh, at least?
Yeah.
4.
How many bins of plush?
Oh, plush? 12. We have
How many bins
12.
are vintage clothing? How many
Oh,
bins
shut
is
up. They
winter
get the idea.
clothing?
They get the idea. Oh, we just have so much stuff that's in our storage locker. And it's that trying to even get through that. It's like, so at least that's kind of like thrifting, because you're surprising yourself with something new
I was
that
pulling
you've
stuff
got
out
in
of
it.
one bin that was fantastic vintage women's clothing. A lot of it was handmade, but the fabrics were like 1960s, 1970s, bright, in your face, almost like Pucci or Peter Max, just bright, colorful designs.
But again, what does that mean?
I put it back in
Clothing.
the box.
Clothing. What does so Rick just put it
How
back
do
in the
you
box
measure
and
this?
went, this
Back
is
in the box.
fabulous, and it put it
Back in
back in the
book.
box.
Back in
Lisa
book.
said she bought 4 lots at an auction on Saturday, spent 8 hours on Saturday driving around the country, got some good stuff, mostly sewing patterns. So yeah, and you need more sewing. Kendra said, too many garage sales where people want to spend 20 minutes telling me why an item is valuable and how much it sells for on eBay. Been there. Tried to read them the book about it. Tried to show it on their app that they're wrong. We just gave up. So yeah, we see a lot of those things where it's like, this is a garage sale. And I've started, I don't know if it's the
You've
grumpy,
actually said, then sell it on eBay.
I don't know if it's the grumpy old man in me lately, but I literally have
Lately?
walked up people's driveways for a garage sale and loudly so turned around so that they can hear as Rick and I walk off like, Rick, don't bother coming up here. The prices are shit. Like, they think they own a retail store or an antique store. And I've made these comments quite loud. I'm sure I'd be banned from a number of people's sales because I ain't keeping it quiet no more, because it just isn't. I mean, I'll pick up something and listen.
Oh, my
Like,
little Sophia
I
Petrova.
literally will pick. They want $20 for it, and I'll put it down and I'll leave. Like, that's how bad it's gotten in some people's cases. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a garage sale in a
We
few
actually are going to have a garage sale now.
Imagine
We've
the fun
decided.
I'm going to have when people come up and want deals, and Craig overhears me saying, "Sure, you can have that $10 thing for $5. I don't care." What?
Well, no, we agreed. We actually had to agree. So we agreed that we're going to do a garage sale. We're going to try and purge a bunch of stuff. So over the past few months, we've been going through stuff, and I've been trying to say there's like 3 or 4 bins, and it's been working quite well, where we have 3 or 4 piles, and we're looking at it going, does this go on eBay? Does this go on Whatnot before eBay? Does this go on Max Sold? Or does it can move like from Whatnot to eBay to Max Sold? Or does this get donated? And then we have our 5th one, which is garage sale stuff. So that's the stuff that probably could be donated. But as a person who bought it, I can't just donate my money. I know. Does that sound weird? I don't know if you guys think the same thing. It's like, I buy things. I have the things. I have not listed or sold the things, but I'm sure as hell not just going to give away. So that's kind of where we're working for. So we're going to have our own garage sale. And I just go back to a couple of the comments I want to see in here. Janet said it's been meh lately for her, but she has a town-wide and promising estate sale this weekend. Good for you. That's promising is really good. Susan is buying is not the problem. You have to get yourself listing. Your collector's booth is full. That's good if you're actually getting stuff done. Hard part is timing, getting there early enough, but a bit too early enough when they put nothing out. Yes, if you come to our place when we haven't put anything out, you will face the wrath of Craig. I literally have put up a Halloween zombie yellow caution tape at the end of our driveway.
Somebody had the nerve to step over it one year. We kicked them off the property and said, "I'm not selling anything to you. Go away."
And I literally yelled, I haven't even had my freaking coffee. So go away. What time did it say the sale starts? 9 a.m. What time is it? 7:15. Go away. Because the thing is, I know who those 7:15 people are. They're me. They're other shoppers who are trying to buy stuff to sell. So I would potentially not be the nicest person if you come too early. Let me just seriously. Kevin's having a garage sale, nothing over $1, just a junkie. Well, and again, that's kind of the decision we made. We were going to have our sale, and we're literally every single thing. Well, 90% of the stuff that we're putting in our sale, I'm calling it a Toonie garage sale. So it's literally $2. And I said to Rick, nothing goes down to $1 until 11 o'clock. If somebody wants to offer us $1 at 9:15, you tell them, come back at 11 o'clock. If it's still here, it's $1. I can't even buy a coffee now for $2. My coffee, it's not even my latte. My regular coffee at Horton's is over $2. So I'm not going to sit there and put stuff for $0.25, things like that. So I'm going to start, everything is starting at $2. Some of the stuff, if we found one or two things that I think are really much better, we're actually going to have a shelf that is a specially priced shelf that may have things for $5 or $7 or things like that, but nothing outrageous. This is all stuff that we tried to sell, but I thought, let's get rid of it. Now, we're also getting rid of things like I picked up, this is before the pandemic, I think, Rick, wasn't it? My road and track magazines?
Yeah. Yeah.
So before the pandemic, I picked up 500 road and track magazines from
because Craig and road vehicles.
You know me. Go track, go road,
rods and big trucks.
Go sports car. So, but there were 500 of them, and they started listed at $500 for 500. Then they went to 400. Then they went to 300. They went to 200. And I actually just sent a guy on the thing and said, "I'll give you $100 for them all." So I got them all. Now we've actually sold a ton. I actually sold in our last max sold. We put 3 lots of 20, and we sold the 3 lots for $28 a piece.
Yeah.
We've sold individual ones that I pulled out that I saw when I was picking them up for $5 and $10 and $15 and $20 and $30 and $40. So I've made all my money on these. Now I have just 300 of them left. And so they're going into the garage sale. You may recall things that I've found before in quantity that I've tried to sell, like my forks. You remember those Vision forks that I bought? Well, I've sold enough to make the money that I paid for them, but I still have 50 of the 100 that I bought left. I don't want them. I don't want them taking up space. And that's another thing that I'm trying to rejig in my head. It's not just about the item, it's about the space it occupies. Greg saying 300 more. You didn't buy any from me, did you, Greg?
No, road and track.
I know.
He's talking about the magazine.
I know, but I don't think he bought any from me.
No, he probably has a garage full as well.
Let me just go back up here. So let's see. So we're at the Donna's having a yard sale. Yep. So Don said after 5 hours of sales, you came with 5 homes to list, but you listed them. That's the key. Carl said that. Where's that? Townwide. You just did townwide sales this weekend. 90%. Yeah, that's the other thing. We've driven to these garage sale, like neighborhood sale, and the entire neighborhood is people selling children's clothes and Little Tykes tractors and lemonade stands and stuff like that. It's like, oh. Carl said nothing, turned around and left after getting prices at one garage sale. Yeah, see, but I thought you said, Carl, that you were a chatty person.
Well, then that really is awful if he
That shows you how bad it actually is, yeah. Let's see. Nellie's having her annual garage sale this weekend in 90-degree weather. But again, that's smart that you're having. We used to organize a huge one for our neighborhood, but it just got to be so many people not doing it with us that we just, you know what, we're just going to do it on our own. Yes, that's me. Get that off my lawn. No coffee, no sale. When Tina had the garage sales, we would not open the door before 8 a.m. They can stand outside and wait.
The problem is we have to set up tables on
Yeah,
our
we have to set up
driveway
tables outside
because
where
of the volume
they
of
can
stuff
get
we
to stuff.
have. And we don't want people in our garage because that's where we've got some of our unlisted stock.
Yeah. I wish I could figure out a way to do that. That's really smart. The ones that yell you across. Do you have any records? Oh God, that's those are ones that drive me crazy. Hey Sherry, no worry. I get that for 50 cents. An X.
Elisa actually made a comment.
Sorry, Rick.
Sorry.
I was going down through the chat.
Okay, I've starred Elisa's comment for you to
Okay, so Diana said 1 year I accepted Canadian Tire money,
which is worth more than Canadian dollars at
which
some
seems
point.
to be worth more than Canadian dollars. I'm not sure who Angela's. That's a great idea. It could be the Canadian Tire money.
Yeah.
What is Canadian Tire money? It's like green stamps. So it's one store in Canada that gives you literally like dollar bills that have their name on them, and they're like a nickel and a quarter and things like that, and they take them as cash. NASCAR, yeah. NASCAR! Go NASCAR. Nasty car. I'm not sure if we're getting rid of the prison underpants. We might. We still have some of those left. Yeah.
We sell them occasionally, and usually when one sells, we have.
Yeah. It's all of a sudden it's like underwear parties, I guess. I don't know. Sherry bought a couple of those forks from us, and Jeff still has some he got from us.
The forks or prison underwear?
No, not the prison underwear. Those are the forks. Sherry didn't buy prison underwear from us.
Are you sure?
Yes. Lisa's been listing lots of bulky items and projects I'm never going to get to on Facebook. Yeah, and we've started doing a bit more of that on Facebook Marketplace. Elisa just bought some new and packaged jockeys. Well, that's good. And you've been trying to barter with stuff. Well, that's an idea too. But I don't need more stuff. I want to get rid of some of this stuff. So, yeah, I think that's a little far. Just at the Florida border, just a little too far. Tina had an awesome town, so filled the back of your SUV. The longest you've shopped at garage sales ever. Well, we probably have done that. And Lisa bought prison endings. They're like a community sale and no one participates. Yes. Church sales are the best when you can find them, and we just haven't happened to find any. Tina has a vintage sale Friday and Saturday and a big tourist day, so could be 90. If you show up at the end of church sales, you can get some bulk deals on books media. Okay, so literally, it's just so funny you said that. And this is like, so we're talking about our downs, our ups. So when we came back from Brimfield, we had 2 days that we went to stayed in Buffalo after we'd come back from Brimfield. Why? Because the city of Hamburg used to have this thing called the biggest garage sale in the world. It wasn't, but they called it the biggest garage sale in the world. And it was every year, twice a year even. And Rick and I found amazing stuff at this sale. And this is the first one that we've been back to since pre-pandemic. So I said, you know what? Instead of coming all the way back from Brimfield, we're going to stop in Buffalo and we're going to get up the morning after we've just driven 8.5 hours from Brimfield. So we got up Thursday morning, 7 a.m. We're out, we're driving, we're shopping at Brimfield till 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon. Then we're on the highway for 6.5 to 7 hours. Then we have dinner. Then we check in our hotel room, go to bed. And I say, Rick, don't worry. We're getting up at 7:30 in the morning because we have to get to the greatest garage sale in the world. And he's like, okay.
Yes, he was
actually very good. He was very... So we got up, I got him his coffee, I got him his breakfast. We drove the 45 minutes from where we were staying to where the greatest garage sale in the world was. It sucked.
Well, yeah, it was very disappointing.
The
one guy that had the most amazing stuff in past years had some okay stuff this time, but he had like double eBay prices.
But we bought 3 Furbies in their boxes, and none of them work. The only other thing we bought was a $1 fabulous fur hat. But when Lee, so that's like roller coaster down, and then we go on this Saturday. We're going back home, and I see a church sale, and the church sale said it closes church sale, bag sale from noon. We got there at noon and I walked into a church basement. I left Rick in the car.
Half an hour later, I clued in that he's still in the church.
The lady
so
said,
I wandered in.
Pick a bag, fill it for $2. So I go walking into the back of the thing. There is Pyrex there that had like $15 price on a Pyrex bowl. It was still there. So I said, can I put this in the bag I just bought? And they said, anything that's here. So I literally started walking around looking for the highest price tags that they had on items.
And if you want to see somebody who's skilled at Tetrising items into a shopping bag,
a paper bag.
Meet Craig.
I'm paper bagging things so that okay, I'm going to open the lid on this thing and I can tuck this thing in here. And that had a $10 price tag on a piece of jewelry and no one, so I probably put the equivalent of about $50 or $60 worth of their price tags in this one bag for $2.
And he wouldn't let me buy another bag.
Rick came in and he's like, I figured you must have been finding stuff because I'd been in there 20 minutes.
Do I need to buy another bag, Craig? Oh, no, I've got it covered.
We found a couple other things and they let me stack them on top of the bag. And as I left, I gave them another $1.
Yeah.
So I gave them $3 for this. So
very magnanimous.
That's why, yes, church sales are the best. And if you can show up at the end, you can get bulk deals on that sort of thing. And videos, bulk deals on anything. I don't know if I haven't seen as many church sales around as there used to be. That's one thing that I have noticed a lot on. So let's see.
Now the starred comment is
starred comment. Worst garage sales, one card table with nothing but clear glass. What is an automatic drive-by for me?
There have been other people who have answered that question in the chat.
Oh, are there?
Yes.
So what are some other people's automatic drive-bys?
Let me look.
See if we can find them. I'll tell you a couple of my automatic drive-bys. One, a 10-mile driveway with everything at the end of the 10-mile driveway. I have gone to so many sales where I'm in it's off the beaten path. It's on a different road. I get down the road and it's like 2 kilometers. So I get down the 2 kilometers and I'm at a thing and the house is set like frickin' Gone with the Wind Tara back at and I see a table and an open garage door. And I just can't be bothered getting out of the car because I literally go, I'm not spending another 10 minutes walking just to the thing to get back to. So that's one thing. Really, really long driveways. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. And yes, a rural sign that says down here. Now, I don't even know if I've got this. I got to turn that thing into.
Yes.
I have something I'll show you in a minute if I can find it on my phone. But there's mountains there. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. If you can't park anywhere, that's actually a good one. If you can't park, if it's very steep.
I've got one here I'm going to click on. So give me a second, Craig.
Yep.
A drive-by for Terry. Kids, big toys, and tubs of clothes. There were years that we would go to garage sales, and if we saw one of those Flintstone mobiles, those plastic Flintstone kid things that the pedal cars, we would avoid those.
Used tires. I don't even know if I've ever seen used tires. So now the thing is, if every once in a while, I might do It depends how desperate I am. If I haven't bought a thing, I might actually go and do a long driveway that has kids' clothes set up at the end of it. I might cause myself to get out of the car while I'm garage sailing and say, I am going to take a chance that this sale is not filled with a bunch of 2-year-olds used clothing and some torn up cookbooks and discolored Tupperware. I might take that chance, and I will walk that long driveway with the music playing in the background. It's like, run, Forrest, run. It's like I'll take that long walk, and I will pray. Sometimes I say it out loud. Sometimes it's just to myself. Find something. One thing. And I have to admit, I 50% of the time I find crap. I don't find anything. And I walk back to the car because Rick doesn't even get out of the car half the time. He's just like, oh, I'm staying in the car.
Yes, I'm a
keep it mellow. We are going to probably go to the Innisfil Townwide Sale, even though last year we didn't get a lot at it. If you don't see the price on a few items, then yeah. That's another thing I don't like. I don't like going to the sales where it seems to be, depends on what you look like is what the price is going to be. Like that's always been one of my challenges because I figure most of the time I look like the kind of person that they're going to overcharge. It feels to me like they're going to go, oh, look at this big bald baby coming at me. I'm going to just jack up the prices because he can afford a fancy shirt. I don't know what, like, so dress like I'm homeless. Is it my field of dream moment? No, I wish it was. Don't wear your Rolex. No. No, I'm sorry. I can't dress like I'm homeless. No, I would lose my toaster. I would lose my entire LGBTQ license if I had to do that. So we've had ups and downs. Like an elevator person, just like ups and downs. That's a really weird reference to Anti-Main. Sales where people have to call someone not there. Oh, God, that's another one that drives me crazy too. It's like, yes, oh, he just left. He's gone in the house. He went down the street. That's like, fine, I'm leaving. Like if you don't know the prices in your yeah.
We ran into that at Brimfield too. There were lots of objects that were not priced on tables.
Yeah.
I'd look at Craig and give them one price. I'd go back and ask for a price, and I'd get a lower price.
Yeah.
It's happened a couple of times.
I don't know. We're trying to figure that out. Why? Do I look like I'm older and have more money? I'm moneyed, and he looks like a poor boy.
No, I bat my eyes better.
Yeah, garage sales with small writing. Oh, that's all. That is.
I love the signs that are written with pencil.
Yeah.
And they're very pretty when they're right in front of you, but arrows. We need arrows.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to see if I can find that one thing. So let me just see if I can find this, Rick, in the meantime. So when we were out, I'm going to I don't know if I haven't got this keyed up.
Yeah, Craig is Daddy Warbucks.
Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can find, where the heck was this? So we were on a drive, and when we were on this drive, I'm trying to see, I don't know if I can find it.
Well, Angela has a good comment. Stuff only on tarps. Is that when you drive by and don't bother with it? How many times have we seen paintings laying on the grass, or sealed in box items, or sealed carded items in the sun with the sweat dripping inside the box?
That's actually one of the things that's bothered me about parts of Brimfield and some flea markets is these people who have like records and comic books in 90-degree weather, 30 degrees Celsius, and they're sweating. The books are sweating inside. It's like, oh, Lisa likes tarps. Yes, that's true. I went to one where people, an interesting chess set. I asked how much. He said people have been asking about it all day. It was still there, and he couldn't come up with a price. Oh my God, yes. But again, that's part of that can be kind of the up and the down. Sorry, I don't know how I got something in my
Elisa doesn't like people that swarm sales with 10 LBA children in tow touching everything. Yeah, we've seen a couple of sales like that where the family comes running up and the kids are everywhere, picking up everything, mixing things around.
There we go. But that's I get like that. That's like that's like the garage sale roller coaster, because there's a garage sale roller coaster that is like that. So, and we're gonna hit that this weekend because Rick and I are back doing another one of our trips down to upstate New York, and it is going to be potentially another one of those up and down weekends where we have some estate sales and some garage sales. We're going to be randomly driving around trying to find them because the yard sale treasure map doesn't work anymore. So it's like trying to figure out where to go is a little bit difficult compared to the way that it used to be. Even if we're using Craigslist and we're using yard sale treasure map and we're using yardsales.net and we're using Facebook, it still doesn't map in any way the way that we used to be able to say, look at that clump of 40 sales in this block. So we're going to be doing a lot of that driving where it's like you're 5 to 10 minutes between every single sale, and that becomes a little bit of a downer when you get to that sale and it is got rubber tires and children's clothes that are on a tarp.
I'm fine getting up early, but my one rule is before we start shopping, I need my coffee. So as long as I have my coffee and something to snack on, I am fine.
Yeah, sometimes that's just it. Is with prices, it can be really difficult to try and figure out. So again, what we try and do with that is look at that. And again, that's one roller coaster. Then you bring the stuff home, and then what do you do with it when nothing's selling? And that's one of the challenges that we're looking at right now. It's like I even said to Rick, we're going away this weekend because we pre-planned it. And I actually prepaid for the hotel because we're paying for a hotel room because it was like I wanted to make sure I locked in as low a rate as I could for the 3 nights that we're going to be going down there. And just like when we went for those extra 2 nights after Brimfield, I kind of wished I hadn't gone. So that was in May too. And it was like, great. I just paid for 2 nights in a hotel room and we didn't bring anything back. So it's always a challenge with that is you don't know what you're going for. When you go to town-wide sales, things like that, you could be hitting a town-wide sale that has a great amount of stuff. You could be hitting a town-wide sale that doesn't have a great amount of stuff, but you still got up early and you drove somewhere. And in Ontario, in the province we are in, there's actually a place that posts on our Facebook group that is actually town-wide yard sales. So when towns have them, smaller towns. And I kind of like that as an option. So that's one thing that allows you to actually go, okay, maybe I'll go. But again, that's an up and down. That's a roller coaster that you're dealing with. Carl is saying one thing he tries to have a price in his head he's willing to pay before asking the price. I usually do that too. And one of the things I've actually said and walked away from people, I can't be the buyer and the seller. It's my literal thing. When I go, how much is this? They go, what do you think? I'm like, I can't buy and sell it. You know how much you want to get for it? Tell me a price. And if they go, well, how much do you want to pay again? I literally said, that's not my job. You are selling this. Come up with a price, and I'll let you know if it's okay.
Let me insult you. $5.
So that's one of the things that we actually always end up. I've started doing again. Maybe I'm getting older. Maybe I'm getting fed up with people who do that. But again, when I get home, I've got all this stuff and got to figure out what to do with it. And that's, again, where the roller coaster comes back into play. So what I'm trying to do is, as I said, I'm trying to do just one thing. That's all I want to be able to do is I want to be able to say, all I need to do is take this, where'd it go? Sorry. Take this and take one step forward and hopefully do just one thing. So I'm going to try and do that. And that's going to be one of the things that I'm working towards over the next month as well. It's going to take through June. Is what is that one thing that I can do today? Now, that one thing is hopefully going to try and change my internal dialogue. Because again, this is part of the challenge as a reseller. If you've had ups and downs, if you've had a bad month of sales, you may look at those things and think, is it worth it? Why am I doing this? Things like that. So what I'm trying to say with this is to take that just one thing and look at the positive of doing it. If you list just one thing, it's better than not doing anything at all. If you donate just one thing, it's getting something out of your profit pile that may no longer be a profit pile item. If you organize a box, it's just one thing, because you'll find that there's so much stuff that you can a lot of times get overwhelmed. And it's kind of, as best I say, it's kind of the hoarder's mentality for those of us that have profit piles, is there's just so much out there that you can look at it and be frozen. And that's the down part of that roller coaster. You've just, your high was, look what I found. And then you're sitting here going, I haven't done anything. I haven't done any sales. So how do you climb that hill? And I think that's one of the things that I'm trying to do is say, everybody try to climb that hill by doing one thing or list one thing. Now I saw that there's something else that's in here, which is you once got chased down for not paying enough for a camera and they made you give it back.
Did they give you your money back?
Oh, well, that's interesting. Like, that is really terrible. Like, that is bonkers. You're overwhelmed here with, I guess, with what the stuff that you have. Yeah, and again, you can have so many things. So we're trying to, you got to climb that hill. You got to take the steps. And I've already started feeling it, that as I've taken a couple more steps, even yesterday and today, we have two things that we've done yesterday and today. And I ended up doing a sale on Monday night on Whatnot. And we talk about Whatnot all the time. And I just want to, we actually have tried a few sales recently. When we did one, I'm just going to show you my Whatnot link here as well. So we've got shows scheduled right now. And we did a couple of shows on Whatnot that were recent. And I'm going to show you, I can go down here. This show, Cross Stitch. We got rid of a bunch of cross stitch. You know what? We had one buyer. Just one. But we sold over $100 worth of cross stitch in this one show to
and
one.
We threw in a couple of extras that didn't sell.
We threw in extras that didn't sell. And the rest are going in our garage sale. We have tattoo flash art. We did this from things that we bought back in Brimfield. We thought we'd try this. This show is a half an hour long. We're doing that show again tonight at 10 o'clock. We're doing another Whatnot show for another half an hour. See if that works. We did a Vinylmation show last week. So I started this process last week. That was and this show was another half an hour long show. So that's one of the things that we try to do is we're trying to take steps to go, well, do a show. And if I sell $50, I sold $50. If something sells on eBay and it shocks us and it comes in, I'll show you one thing that was literally the surprise. This past weekend or past week and a half, I have probably sent, I don't know how many offers out that I've sent to people. And in the offers, I sent offers on this. There we go. Offers on this Moody Cuties. I sent offers on this 3 times in the past 3 weeks for $25. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. It sold today for $38.88. So again, up the hill, up the hill. Every little step that you take is something that helps. I've looked at a few things and gone, I think I'm going to try and sell this. I'm going to list this. But sometimes I've gone, there's too much stuff to list. Rick's done, we're having a purse show tomorrow.
I was weighing purses today.
I had Rick weighing purses today. Why? Because I found 2 tubs worth of purses that I bought for who knows when, all over the place, at thrift stores, at garage sales. Some had quarter price tag stuck on them. One had a $6 price tag stuck on it from Value Village. I don't know why I got them all, but we're going to try it. And I don't know if we're going to sell any, but I'm taking the step to go, oh, well, let's try this. And let's not negate trying something new or trying listing something else. Trying listing something on Etsy. We have some stuff that's...
Once we've got it listed, then we can add it to other shows. If we're doing a vintage show, if we've got a vintage purse that didn't sell, we can add it to the vintage show. So it's like building a library or an inventory or a marketplace with the stuff that doesn't sell.
Well, and again, Carl talks about LIFO. The part of the challenge with LIFO, or last in, first out, is if you've done a big garage sale find or an estate sale find, because we came back from Brimfield with 7 big boxes filled. There was probably, I don't know, 150 plus items in there. You can't last in first out 150 items.
Well, you can if you're organized and have space to do it.
Nah, I don't even know if we could do that, because we still have so much stuff in profit piles, and you have to organize it, you have to clean it, so something ends up holding you up on all those things. But that's why we put the tattoo art up. We just took some of the tattoo art that we bought and put it up, and we've got over almost 50% of the price that we paid for the 100 pieces of tattoo art. We've already got back from one little show. And we are going to list some on Etsy, and then we're going to also list some on eBay after our show that we do tonight at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Lisa's actually made a comment.
Did I list the thumb puppets yet? No, not yet.
No, Lisa Boland.
I started getting the most valuable things listed first to get your money back and chip away at the rest. And again, that's one of the things that I think you can try and do, and that can be your step. So literally what I'm doing tonight after all of this, I have 2 Barbie dolls, and I'm doing 2. I've got 2 Barbie dolls that I have been saying I was going to sell for the past month and a half. I haven't done anything with them. I literally have stared at them. They're probably $200 to $300 worth of sales.
Thinking I have to list those.
I keep thinking I got to list those. And I don't. Tonight, I'm going to list both of them. I'm going to list them in a Facebook group as opposed to listing them on eBay, but I'll have my pictures ready and my description ready so that if nobody in the Facebook group grabs them, I'm going to flip them over to eBay or flip them over to Etsy. When sales are down, you try to tell myself that this is an opportunity. Now you have time to list and take photos. And again, that's part of that. Take that step. Take that extra step to go.
That's the self-motivation thing. How do you get into that headspace when everything is kind of meh?
Well, and that's just it. One of the things that we have found historically, when we list, we make sales. So it's kind of, sometimes you self-sabotage yourself as a reseller. It's like, I haven't got any sales. I don't want to list. I'm going to go buy some more stuff. Like, it's just because I need to get out of, it's like, maybe it's the time to go, I don't have to buy some more stuff. I have to take step and do this. So that's another thing, is get rid of one thing before you bring something else in. I'm going to say I cannot do that. Why? Because I'm not going to the States this weekend to buy nothing. And I'm not going to come back with hopefully 40 or 50 things and then say, I'm going to throw out 40 or 50 things. But we have taken the step to say garage sale time. We've already set the garage sale date. We're doing that in 3 weeks. We know it's a Tonite day. I started going through stuff in the house and boop, 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 boop. Like this, a perfect example. Who knew that I had an entire bin filled with socks?
I did.
Socks. I don't even know when I bought these socks.
We should have a whatnot sock show.
And the thing is, they're not normal socks, are they? No, they are called odd socks. You're buying 3 different socks. Now, what I found when I bought these, I was like, ooh, because I looked them up 5 years ago. And when I looked them up 5 years ago, I didn't realize that this is from a UK company, and all of the sales are from the UK. So people in the UK know what odd socks are. People in Canada and the US don't know what odd socks are. So I have these things. I not only have singles, I have them for kids. I'm not going to donate them to the homeless because there's 3 socks and that'll seem a little strange. But you know what else I have?
Well,
I have burger and fry tie in with that, and some of the socks they're funky. This is what do I do? I can't throw these out. This is a set of where's the other set? Because these are sets of 9, or 6 completely different socks. So these are 6 odd socks called Man's Best Friend, and you get one of each pair. Like there's only one of each sock, and they're just different colored dog socks.
So you could mix and match.
So you can mix. Well, it's all about mixing and matching. But I have. How did I end up with all these socks?
That was a baggy wall haul. I think.
No, this wasn't. The odd socks were all from the Salvation Army on Kennedy Road.
Not a baggy wall. Okay.
The
one that gets the weird stuff.
They only cost me like $1.99. But again, I don't want to throw out $30, $40 worth of socks. I don't know but I don't know how to sell them because I had list them. I kind of look at them and go, "Oh, I'd like them," but at the same time, my diabetes is not letting me do tight socks, so I'm afraid they'll be too tight for me. So I got to figure out how to sell them. So I might do a Whatnot sock show. That might be an option for me to do. I might just do it in a weird show. I might just take some of the single things and go, you know what? I'll put this out. This flamingo went out for $2 at our $2 sale. And if somebody buys it,
great. In the Pride show, Craigie.
Or in our Pride show, yeah. So we have a Pride show coming up as well.
Okay, let's list them on our Pride show because we're all odd.
Yeah, well, I guess that's true. I thought about that too. Your stepdaughter likes odd socks. Yeah,
we'll call them queer.
We can call them queer socks, but they are odd socks. That's very true. So again, it's one of those things. How did I end up with this? I'm not sure why I bought this. I looked around and thought there's something else that was weird. And this is money that's just sitting here. And I remember getting this. I got somebody's collection of Nintendo Power magazines, and we've sold some of the Nintendo Power. And I think you may remember we sold one of them last fall for like $400 for one magazine. Well, they came in this. This is just a full
it's one of the plastic corrugated
holder.
Corrugated plastic holder.
I got 6 of these. I can sell these for $100 for the set of 6. This is tomorrow's do one thing. So I'm trying to do it and split it up into do one thing that might be a list. Do one thing that might be a cleanup. And do one thing that might be a donate. So I want to try and see if I can get like 3 things done. And again, it's actually that is true. They are good giveaways. We might be able to do the dog ones there. But I'm lucky if I'm wearing pants most days. Then they can't. No, that's true. They can't be sold in Florida. That's true. Well, they can be, but if we had a choice, we wouldn't sell to Florida right now. But we can't do that.
Now, I've got a quick question.
Oh, yes.
Your do one thing is all fine and well, but
okay.
This has been sitting in our eBay drafts for what, a month?
Oh, I remember finding those in the basement.
Yes, but you did up a draft for them. Basically, there are 5 boxes of these. And you said you wanted to list them on eBay. I actually opened up the boxes, and some of them have some pieces in them. One of the boxes has nothing but the building pieces in it. So of these 5 boxes, everything is mixed inside them. So your intention was to sell them as a whole lot, but I don't know how to photograph this big mess. Is it something that you expect me to go through and find out, okay, this is...
Wait, how did this become a me? Now it's back to me. It's back to me. Well, here's somebody who had photographed them. And the reason I said, look, this is interior decorating. It's literally dolls furniture, mid-century doll furniture and somebody just took pictures of them like this.
But that looks like it's organized compared to what's in our boxes.
$250. So there's your one thing that
Here's
I want
Carl's
you to do.
comment that I agree with.
Huh? I know, but the thing is, we can spend the time and go through all of them and try and organize it all, or we can just go, here's a bunch of pictures and let somebody buy it. I think we bought this 10 years ago.
It was
At
outdoors.
least 10 years ago.
Clarence.
And it was, how much money do you think it was 10 years ago?
I think it was $10 for the 5 boxes.
I think so. So let's just get rid of it. Let's just take it, put pictures up. They might not be the best. Put it up for auction, start it at $99, and where it goes from there is where it goes. Kendra says, I feel like it happens all the time. Too much cleaning, researching, figuring out pieces. And yeah, and that's one of the reasons I think I held on to this for so long. Every time I looked at it, I thought, oh, I got to organize it all. So my idea is to not bother organizing it. Let somebody else play and organize it.
Well, you could have told me that when you were doing the listing. Okay, I will do the pictures. I will not care at all about what the contents are in the boxes. I'll try to make them pretty, but I won't spend too much time on it.
So,
deal?
Yes. At the end of the day, what I talk about is we've been in a roller coaster. I guess some of you have sort of been in this roller coaster as well. You want to focus on that one thing you can do maybe and see if you can start yourself back on the fun part, which is the ride up. And then if there's a down, maybe it's not as far down, but it gets you to actually move a little bit more. And the more you can move on what you're doing, the more you can actually maybe reinvigorate yourself and think, you know what? This is going to be fun. This brings back the joy of reselling because it is a joy. We do love it, but we just spent this past month going, high, low, high, low. It was like so much of it. And they're hoping that June will be a different thing. And this list do one thing or do two things might actually help us move along. We do want to remind everybody that if you are a member of the Kennel Club, end of June, we just moved at the end of June, we are doing our Dealing in Dolls, a guide to reselling modern finds. So it's garage sale, estate sale season, flea market season. And we'll be doing, if I can wake Rick up, we'll be doing a show that's specifically for members only. We're still trying to figure out how to broadcast it. It may end up being a show where we end up having to record it and then watch it live with you to comment on it for members only. We're still trying to figure that part out. It's the end of June. To do it, all you have to do to become a member is go to our Two Dogs channel, and right there, there's a join button right underneath. Just go to YouTube, Two Dogs Digs, and you can find us and click on join, and you can join us there at $2.99 a month, and that will certainly pay for it over time. We should write a book. I actually do have a book on how to have a perfect garage sale, and I have to work on that too. Lisa's working on the Royal stuff she bought in the UK and the stuff she had in this week's auction. Again, we're going to do two of our things right now. We've got at 10 o'clock tonight. We're going to be doing, like in less than an hour, we're doing a Whatnot show on tattoo flash art. And if we sell stuff in it, that's great. If we don't, it's just another trial. So that's just it. I'm not looking at those. With our Whatnot stuff, we may have a $30 or $50 sale or show, but it's okay. It sometimes is more than we sold on eBay in 2 days. So try to look at the positive on that and try and sort of rejig ourselves into a positive headspace as we move into June. We're going to have challenges in the month of June in the craft group as well, just regular listing challenges. And we'll talk about them next. It'll be in the craft group next Monday, but we'll talk about them more in our Tuesday show next week, which will be what sold in May. If I can find 5 things that sold. No, I can't find 5 things.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
We can find 5 things that sold in May. But and again, hopefully Carl will be joining us here. You can confirm in here if he's going to join us. And we'll see what else we can do and tell you how our weekend away went, whether we got some stuff, how many garage sales I literally went, rah, and ran away from. And we'll see if Rick can even film me running away or yelling at people on a couple of them. Yay, Carl's going to be here next week.
That process of being staged. That'll come across like it's been staged. Ready, action.
No, it won't. If you could just have your camera out when you hear me go, they want $30 for this. You could just film me at the thing. So again, hopefully your roller coaster life of reselling, maybe your May wasn't great. A couple of you had good Mays. That's really good. Hopefully your June will be even better. But hopefully riding that roller coaster, you try and look at the fun parts, even if the fun part is the ride down. Like, I know it's kind of strange because the climb up isn't necessarily, it's kind of a good metaphor, but it's not a great metaphor. But if it was a good metaphor, it's ups and downs. And sometimes the ups and downs mean that you've got to do a little extra work to get the up part or to feel a little up, more up. Chef's kiss on the content as always. Thank you so much, Angela. And to anyone else who's got any ideas, feel free to put them in the comments if you're joining us here. We will see you next Tuesday after we've done our 3-day weekend. We'll tell you about our estate sales. We'll tell you about how much fun we have. And we'll make sure that we have my 2 Barbies listed, my 1 thing about the Nintendo holders, and Rick's going to have listed that batch of stuff that's sitting behind him. Join us on Whatnot if you want to. You can see us there. Just look up 2 Dogs Digs on Whatnot, either tonight at 10 o'clock or tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for our purse show. And again, we only ship to the U.S., so unfortunately, if you're in Canada, we ship to the U.S. If you are interested in becoming a Whatnot seller, connect with us. We'll help you figure it out. There's no referral fee any longer. They cut that out down from $200 to nothing, basically. So we aren't splitting that anymore. So thanks to those of you, the 7 or 8 of you who are tried Whatnot and got your referral fee split with us. But they are improving things. We just had a conversation with them with their quarterly updates. So we might talk about that in a future June show. So thanks so much. Hope you had a good time with us tonight on Tuesday night. Yay! Thank you for the great thumbs up. Good show. Thank you. Yay! Thanks. And have fun if you're still awake. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
So long.